Chosen one, you didn't stumble upon this message by chance. That striking number 222 on the thumbnail caught your eye, didn't it? In the Bible and Christian life, the number carries profound spiritual significance, often symbolizing balance, harmony, and God's confirmation of His divine plan unfolding in your life. It echoes the promise of alignment with His purpose, which speaks of God placing the key of authority and opportunity in the hands of His chosen. This number is a reminder that God is orchestrating every detail of your journey, bringing you into a season of divine order and fulfillment. Your presence here isn't the work of an algorithm or mere coincidence. It's a sacred moment divinely orchestrated by God to awaken you to the truth that He is smiling upon you today, calling you into a transformative encounter with His love. I invite you to join a global community of faith by sharing in the comments where you're watching from your city or country, and type the number 222 if this message resonates with your spirit. Open your heart. Embrace this divine appointment and step boldly into the radiant future God has prepared for you. Chosen one, this is not about fleeting moments of happiness that come and go like passing clouds on a summer day. This is not about superficial smiles that fade the moment circumstances shift. This is about a divine, unshakable joy that invades and permanently transforms every single layer of your existence, your mind, your emotions, your physical body, your spirit, your relationships, your future, everything. This joy is not manufactured by positive thinking or favorable conditions. It is the direct result of the Father looking upon you with delight and releasing the full weight of His pleasure over your life. When God smiles upon you, it is never a temporary gesture, never a fleeting mood that can be disrupted by bad news. It is an eternal decree, a covenant promise of continual renewal, restoration, and overflowing life that begins the moment His gaze of favor locks onto you and never looks away. You are stepping into a season where your very life becomes a walking reflection of the radiant, extravagant love of God. Your countenance will carry a glow that no skincare routine or lighting can produce. Your smile will become a literal beacon in dark places, cutting through depression, confusion, and hopelessness like a lighthouse piercing the storm. Your energy will shift into something magnetic, something contagious, drawing broken people toward the light that now permanently resides within you. This is the divine turning point. You have been waiting for, the moment when every chain of yesterday finally snaps, when the struggles that once defined your story fade into irrelevance and the long-awaited blessings of tomorrow begin to manifest in ways that will leave you speechless. God's smile is not merely an emotion. It is a force, a tangible creative energy straight from the throne room that rejuvenates every weary cell in your body, restores every shattered place in your soul, and propels you forward into a future drenched in divine purpose, kingdom influence, and supernatural abundance. Let us pause together and go deeper into what it truly means to cause the God of the universe to smile. Close your eyes for a second and remember those seasons when you felt completely invisible, when no one noticed your pain, when no one celebrated your private victories. Think about the nights you cried yourself to sleep, wondering if anyone upstairs was even listening. Remember the financial deserts that seemed endless, the relationships that broke your heart into pieces, the diagnoses that threatened your future, the doors that slammed when you were already on your knees. Remember the moments of doubt so intense that you questioned whether you had imagined every promise God ever spoke over you. In every single one of those moments, chosen one, God was watching. Not watching with disappointment, not watching with judgment, watching with tender, fierce, fatherly affection. He saw you choose to get back up when everything in you wanted to stay down. He saw you praise when complaining would have been justified. He saw you give when you barely had enough for yourself. He saw you forgive when revenge would have felt so good. He saw you keep believing when unbelief would have been easier. That is what sets you apart. That is why His smile is breaking over your life right now, like the dawn after the longest night humanity has ever known. You did not give up. You did not allow the darkness to write the final chapter of your story. You did not let bitterness take root. You did not let offense build a permanent home in your heart. Instead, you kept showing up. You kept surrendering. You kept choosing love when hate was screaming in your ear. You kept choosing faith when fear had every logical argument. You kept choosing hope when despair had all the evidence. And every single one of those choices registered in heaven. Every act of obedience in obscurity, every whispered prayer in the midnight hour, every time you honored him when no one was watching, heaven recorded it all. And now the accumulated weight of your faithfulness is triggering the greatest smile God has ever released over your life. Because you became a vessel that refused to leak light, no matter how violently the storms raged, that light is about to explode out of you with resurrection power. The world may not understand it yet. They may not comprehend how someone who walked through what you walked through can still radiate joy that feels almost offensive in its intensity. But very soon they will see it. They will feel it when you walk into rooms. They will experience it when you speak. Your presence alone will begin to shift entire atmospheres, bringing peace where chaos reigned, bringing clarity where confusion dominated, bringing hope where suicide once whispered. Your life is becoming a living, breathing testimony that cannot be argued with a story of divine favor so obvious that even skeptics will have to acknowledge something supernatural is at work. People will start asking questions they never asked before. They will pull you aside and whisper, "What happened to you? Why do you carry peace like a weapon? Why does your joy feel contagious? Why do problems seem to solve themselves when you're around and you will not have to manufacture an answer?" The evidence will be written all over your face, flowing through your words, resting upon your life. The answer will be simple and undeniable. It is because the Creator of the universe looked upon you with delight and decided that this would be the season. His smile rests upon you without measure. When God smiles upon you, it is never just a private moment between father and child. It is a public declaration to every power, every principality, every demonic assignment that ever tried to destroy you. This one is mine. This one is marked. This one is favored beyond explanation. Your life is being repositioned as a billboard of heaven's goodness. Strangers will be drawn to the light leaking out of you. Old enemies will be silenced by the glory resting upon you. Opportunities that used to ignore you will begin chasing you down. Resources that used to elude you will begin flowing toward you as if pulled by an invisible magnet. Your family will be touched. Your children will be covered. Your community will be changed. Not because you finally figured out the formula, but because the Father decided it was time for the world to see what happens when He chooses to smile upon one of His own without restraint. Chosen ones, lift your head. The season of barely surviving is over. The season of constant struggle is closing. The season of explaining your pain to people who will never understand is ending. A new day is dawning, and it is drenched in the smile of God. Joy is no longer something you chase. It is something that now chases you down and overtakes you. Peace is no longer something you fight to maintain. It is the atmosphere you permanently carry. Favor is no longer something you hope for. It is the address where you now live. This is the moment everything changes. This is the moment yesterday loses its power and tomorrow opens its arms. God is smiling upon you right now, and His joy is rewriting your story from the inside out. Receive it. Walk in it. Release it. The world has been waiting for the version of you that emerges when God smiles. And that version has finally arrived. Now let me ask you this. Have you ever considered the power of your own smile? When you smile, chosen ones, it's not just a physical act. It's a reflection of God's joy radiating through you. It's a weapon of light that pierces through the darkness, a silent declaration that you are unshaken by the challenges of this world. Your smile carries the weight of divine purpose, and it's a gift that God has given you to share with others. As you walk through this season of transformation, your smile will become a source of inspiration, a reminder to those around you that hope is never lost, that God is always near, and that joy is always possible. This divine joy is not something you have to chase after. It's already yours. God has placed it within you, and now it's time to let it shine. Imagine waking up each morning with a heart so full of peace that it spills over into every interaction. Imagine the way your presence will uplift those around you, the way your laughter will spark hope in someone who's forgotten what it feels like to dream. This is the power of God's smile in your life. It's not just about feeling good, it's about becoming a conduit for His love, a vessel for His miracles, a beacon of His grace. Let me share a truth with you, chosen ones. The joy God is pouring into you is contagious. When you walk in His light, when you carry His smile in your heart, you become a force of transformation in this world. Think of someone like Mother Teresa, a woman who carried God's love into the darkest corners of the earth. Her smile, though simple, was a reflection of divine compassion. It touched the hearts of the broken, the forgotten, the overlooked, and it changed lives. You too have that power. Your smile, your energy, your faith. They are gifts that God is using to bring healing and hope to a world that desperately needs it. Nehemiah chapter 8 verse 10 states, "The joy of the Lord is your strength." This isn't just a verse, it's a promise. When God smiles upon you, He fills you with a strength that cannot be shaken. This strength will carry you through every challenge, every storm, every moment of doubt. It's a strength that doesn't come from your own efforts, but from the divine joy that flows from God's heart to yours. As you embrace this truth, you'll find that the things that once weighed you down, fear, anxiety, uncertainty, begin to fade away, replaced by a confidence that can only come from knowing you are loved by the Creator. Let's take a moment to soak in this truth. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. God's smile is a sign that you are stepping into a new season, one where His favor surrounds you like a shield. Psalm chapter 5 verse 12 confirms, "Surely, Lord, you bless the righteous. You surround them with your favor as with a shield." This is your reality, chosen one. God's favor is upon you, and it's transforming every aspect of your life. Your finances, your relationships, your health, they are all being touched by the divine joy that flows from His smile. You are no longer bound by the limitations of the past. You are free to step into the abundance of His promises. Now I want you to do something powerful. Pause this video, hit that like button, and leave a comment with the number 888 below. This is your declaration to the universe that you are ready to embrace the joy God is pouring into you. Subscribe to join thousands of other chosen souls who are walking this path of divine transformation. Your actions are not just clicks, they are spiritual signals aligning you with the blessings God has prepared. Stay with me, because we're just getting started. The revelation of what God's smile means for your life is about to unfold in ways that will leave you speechless. Let's talk about what it means to live in the light of God's smile. When God smiles upon you, it's not just a moment, it's a movement. It's a shift in the spiritual realm that ripples into the physical. Your life is no longer defined by the struggles of the past, but by the promises of the future. You are stepping into a season of divine alignment where everything you touch is blessed, where every step you take is guided, where every dream you hold is within reach. This is not a fantasy. It's a divine reality that God is unveiling in your life right now. Have you ever noticed how a single smile can change a room? When someone smiles at you with genuine warmth, it shifts the energy, breaks down walls, and softens hearts. It reminds you that you're seen and valued. Now imagine the power of God's smile upon you. It's not just a fleeting gesture. It's a divine endorsement, a heavenly affirmation that you are His chosen, His beloved, His masterpiece. This smile is transforming you from the inside out, renewing your mind, restoring your body, and reigniting your spirit. The world may try to dim your light, chosen one, but it cannot. When God smiles upon you, no force in heaven or earth can take that away. The enemy may try to whisper lies, telling you that you're not enough, that your dreams are too big, that your past defines you. But those lies crumble in the presence of God's truth. You are enough. Your dreams are not too big. Your past is not your future. God's smile is a declaration that you are stepping into a new identity, one that reflects His glory and His purpose for your life. Let's look at someone like David, a shepherd boy who became a king. 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 7 declares that God looks at the heart. When He chose David, it wasn't because of his status or strength. It was because of his heart. David's faith, courage, and trust in God made heaven smile. Because of that smile, David defeated giants, led nations, and became a man after God's own heart. You chosen ones are walking in that same favor. Your heart, your faith, your resilience, they are making God smile, and that smile is opening doors no man can shut. This divine joy is not just for you, it's for the world around you. As you embrace God's smile, you become a carrier of His light, a vessel of His love, a beacon of His hope. People will be drawn to you not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Your presence will shift atmospheres. Your words will spark inspiration. Your actions will reflect the divine transformation God is working in you. This is the power of living in the light of God's smile, a power that changes not just your life, but the lives of everyone you touch. Let's talk about the transformation that comes with this divine joy. When God smiles upon you, it's not just an emotional boost. It's a physical, spiritual, and mental renewal. You may notice changes in your body, your skin glowing with new vitality, your eyes sparkling with hope, your posture radiating confidence. This isn't about vanity. It's about the Holy Spirit working within you, renewing every part of your being. The weariness that once weighed you down is being lifted, replaced by an energy that others will notice and marvel at. Psalm chapter 35, verse 5 mentions, "Weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning." Your night of struggle is over, chosen one. The morning of God's joy is dawning in your life. This is a new day, a new season, a new chapter where His smile is lighting your path. You are no longer defined by the tears of yesterday, but by the joy of today. This joy is your strength, your shield, your victory. A joy that cannot be taken away, no matter what challenges come your way. Now imagine walking through life with this divine joy radiating from within you. Imagine the way it will transform your relationships, bringing healing where there was brokenness, unity where there was division, love where there was pain. Imagine the way it will open doors in your career, bringing opportunities you never thought possible. Imagine the way it will restore your health, filling you with vitality and energy that defies explanation. This is the power of God's smile, a force that transforms every area of your life, making the impossible possible. Let's take a moment to reflect on the people in history who carried this kind of divine joy. Think of someone like Harriet Tubman, a woman who faced unimaginable hardship yet carried a fire in her soul that could not be extinguished. Her faith in God, her unwavering belief in freedom, her ability to keep going despite the odds, these were the things that made her a beacon of hope. Her smile, though born in struggle, was a reflection of God's joy, and it led countless others to freedom. You chosen one are carrying that same fire, that same joy, that same divine favor. As you embrace this truth, you'll begin to see the world differently. The challenges that once seemed insurmountable will become stepping stones to your destiny. The doubts that once clouded your mind will be replaced by a clarity that only comes from God. The fears that once held you back will be shattered by the strength of His joy. This is not just a moment. It's a movement, a divine shift that is aligning every part of your life with God's perfect plan. Let me ask you, chosen one, are you ready to step into this new season? Are you ready to let God's smile transform you in ways you never imagined? This is not a time to shrink back, to doubt, to hesitate. This is a time to rise, to shine, to walk boldly in the truth that you are His chosen. The world is waiting to see the light that God has placed within you. The universe is aligning to bring you the blessings He has promised. All you have to do is receive it, embrace it, and let it flow through you. Chosen one, the transformation that God is orchestrating inside you right now is not subtle, not gradual, not something that only you will notice in quiet moments. It is explosive, undeniable, and profoundly deep. It is a complete divine overhaul that reaches into every hidden corner of your existence and refuses to leave anything untouched. Your mind once a battlefield of worry, regret, and endless what-ifs is being completely renewed, rewired, and refilled with the very thoughts of heaven itself. Thoughts of hope that refuse to be shaken. Thoughts of possibility that stretch further than your natural eyes have ever dared to look. Thoughts of victory that silence every lying voice of defeat. Old mental strongholds are crumbling like ancient walls before the breath of God. Limiting beliefs you carried for decades are being uprooted and replaced with the mind of Christ. Your body, the very temple that has carried the weight of every battle, every sleepless night, every tear, is being flooded with supernatural restoration. Vitality you thought was lost forever is returning. Strength you assumed belonged only to your younger years is rising up again stronger than before, because it is no longer mere human strength. It is resurrection strength. Weariness that used to greet you every morning is being evicted. Sickness that tried to claim territory is losing ground. Even your countenance is changing, eyes brighter, posture, straighter skin glowing with the evidence that the glory of God now rests inside these bones. What medicine could not fix, what diets could not sustain, what rest could not restore. The smile of your Father is accomplishing in days what years of striving never could. Your spirit, once heavy under the residue of disappointment and delay, is being lifted into realms of joy that cannot be contained, cannot be explained, and certainly cannot be stolen. This is not the shallow happiness that depends on perfect conditions. This is the joy of the Lord that acts like rocket fuel in your inner man, propelling you forward when everything around you slows down. Laughter is returning to places that forgot how to laugh. Songs are rising in the night watches again. The oil of gladness is being poured fresh and heavy, and it is marking you visibly. People will see it before you speak a word. They will feel it before you enter the room. They will taste the sweetness of heaven leaking out of you in ordinary moments. This chosen one is what it truly means to live under the constant blazing light of God's smile. It is not a theory. It is not a future promise. It is your present reality. It is a transformation so thorough that strangers will stop you in public just to ask what has happened. Friends who knew the old version of you will not recognize the new. Family members who watched you suffer will stand in awe at the glory now resting where pain once lived. Atmospheres will shift the moment you walk in. Heavy rooms will lighten. Hopeless conversations will turn. Broken people will suddenly believe again, all because something radiating from you refuses to let darkness have the final say. And when they finally gather the courage to ask, because they will ask, they always do when they lean in close and whisper, "What is different about you? Why do you carry peace like armor? Why does joy follow you into rooms that used to drain you? How are you glowing after everything you've been through?" You will not need a long speech. You will not need to quote 20 scriptures or explain years of process. You will simply look them in the eyes, smile the smile that now comes naturally, and say with quiet, unshakable certainty, "It's because God is smiling upon me." Those 7 words will carry more power than 1,000 sermons. They will become the invitation that pulls the seeker into the same fire of divine love that rewrote your story. They will become the testimony that births faith in the faithless. They will become the key that unlocks doors for everyone who dares to believe that the same God who smiled on you is waiting to smile on them. Your transformation is no longer just your blessing. It is now heaven's advertisement, a living epistle written in joy and read by every life you touch. The world has been waiting for someone who carries the evidence that God still smiles, still restores, still transforms. And chosen one, that someone is you. Walk in it, radiate it, release it. The makeover is complete, and the world will never be the same. Let's talk about the ripple effect of this divine joy. When God smiles upon you, it doesn't just change you, it changes the world around you. Your presence becomes a catalyst for transformation, a spark that ignites hope in others. Your smile becomes a reflection of God's love, a reminder that His promises are true. Your life becomes a testimony to His power, living proof that He is faithful to those He calls His own. This is the legacy you are building, chosen one, a legacy of joy, of faith, of divine transformation. Romans chapter 15, verse 13 affirms, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit." This is your promise, chosen one. God is filling you with His joy, His peace, His hope. You are overflowing with His power, and it's a power that cannot be contained. It's a power that will touch lives, shift destinies, and bring light to the darkest places. This is what it means to be chosen. This is what it means to make God smile. As you walk in this divine joy, you'll begin to notice doors opening that you never thought possible. Opportunities will come to you that seem too good to be true, but they're not. They're God's promises coming to life. Relationships will be restored. Finances will be blessed. Dreams will become reality. This is the power of God's smile, a force that aligns everything in your life with His perfect will. You are no longer chasing blessings. They are chasing you because you are walking in the favor of the one who created the universe. Now let's talk about the challenges you may face as you embrace this divine joy. The enemy will not be pleased to see you walking in God's favor. He'll try to throw obstacles in your way, to whisper lies that make you doubt God's promises. But here's the truth. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah chapter 54 verse 17 confirms this. When God smiles upon you, no force in heaven or earth can dim your light. The enemy's tactics, fear, doubt, discouragement, have no power over someone who is covered by the joy of the Lord. Think of someone like Joseph in the Bible. He was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, thrown into prison. Yet through it all, God's favor was upon him. The world tried to break him, but God's smile lifted him up, turning a slave into a ruler, a prisoner into a leader. You chosen ones are walking in that same favor. The trials you faced were not meant to destroy you. They were meant to prepare you for the destiny God has planned. His smile is your assurance that every hardship has a purpose, every setback a comeback. This divine joy is not just a feeling, it's a weapon. It's a shield that protects you from the attacks of the enemy, a sword that cuts through the lies of doubt and fear. When you walk in God's joy, you become untouchable, unstoppable, unbreakable. The world may try to label you by your past, your circumstances, your struggles. But God's smile declares something different. You are His chosen, His beloved, His masterpiece, and nothing can change that. As you embrace this truth, you'll begin to see your life in a new light. The things that once seemed impossible are now within reach. The dreams that once felt out of grasp are now unfolding before your eyes. The burdens that once weighed you down are being lifted by the power of God's joy. This is the transformation that comes when you live in the light of His smile, a transformation that touches every part of your life, making you a living testimony to His grace. Let's talk about the legacy you're building. Chosen one, when God smiles upon you, it's not just for this moment, it's for generations to come. Your life is becoming a story that will inspire others, a beacon that will guide those who are lost, a testimony that will point to God's faithfulness. Every step you take in His joy is a step toward a legacy of faith, of love, of divine transformation. You are not just living for yourself. You're living for those who will come after you, for those who need to see the power of God's smile in action. Proverbs chapter 17 verse 22 states, "A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones." God's smile is your medicine, chosen one. It's healing your heart, renewing your spirit, restoring your body. It's breaking the chains of despair and filling you with a joy that cannot be shaken. As you walk in this joy, you'll find that it's not just transforming you, it's transforming the world around you. Your smile, your energy, your faith. They are contagious, spreading hope to everyone you meet. Let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you fully embraced the joy of God's smile? What would happen if you let go of every doubt, every fear, every limitation, and stepped boldly into the destiny He has prepared for you? The answer is simple. Your life would become a masterpiece, a reflection of His glory, a testament to His love. This is not a dream. It's a reality that God is calling you to step into right now. As you embrace this divine joy, you'll begin to see your life transform in ways you never thought possible. Your relationships will be restored. Your finances will be blessed. Your health will be renewed. This is not a hope or a wish. It's a divine promise sealed by the smile of God upon your life. You are stepping into a season of abundance where every dream is within reach. Every goal is achievable. Every promise is fulfilled. Let's talk about the power of your presence. Chosen one. When God smiles upon you, your very existence becomes a force for good in this world. Your smile, your energy, your faith. They are gifts that God is using to change lives. You are not just a person. You are a movement, a light that cannot be hidden, a testimony that cannot be silenced. The world needs your joy, your hope, your love, and God is using you to deliver it. Matthew chapter 5 verse 16 declares, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." This is your calling, chosen one. God's smile is your light, and it's meant to shine for all to see. As you walk in this joy, you'll become a beacon of hope, a vessel of love, a carrier of God's grace. Your life will point others to Him, showing them that His promises are true, His love is real, and His joy is everlasting. Now, let's talk about the challenges you may face as you step into this new season. The enemy will try to steal your joy, to dim your light, to make you doubt God's smile. But here's the truth. The enemy has no power over you. When God smiles upon you, His favor surrounds you like a shield. His strength upholds you. His love protects you. No lie, no attack, no obstacle can stand against the joy of the Lord in your life. Think of someone like Martin Luther King Jr., a man who faced hatred, violence, and opposition at every turn. Yet through it all, he carried a divine joy that could not be shaken. His faith in God, his belief in a better future, his unwavering commitment to love, these were the things that made him a force for change. You, chosen one, are carrying that same joy, that same faith, that same power. God's smile is upon you, and it's making you unstoppable. As you embrace this divine joy, you'll begin to see the world through new eyes. The challenges that once seemed overwhelming will become opportunities for growth. The doubts that once held you back will become stepping stones to your destiny. The fears that once paralyzed you will be replaced by a confidence that can only come from God. This is the power of His smile, a force that transforms everything, making the impossible possible and the ordinary extraordinary. Let me ask you, chosen one, are you ready to let God's smile change your life? Are you ready to step into the fullness of His joy, to embrace the destiny He has prepared for you? This is not a time to hold back. It's a time to rise, to shine, to walk boldly in the truth that you are His chosen. The world is waiting to see the light that God has placed within you. The universe is aligning to bring you the blessings He has promised. All you have to do is receive it, embrace it, and let it flow through you. The transformation God is working in you is not just for you. It's for the world. Your joy, your faith, your resilience, they are gifts that God is using to bring hope to those who are lost, healing to those who are broken, love to those who are hurting. You are a carrier of His smile, a vessel of His light, a testimony to His power. As you walk in this truth, you'll see lives change, hearts heal, and dreams come to life. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 17 proclaims, "The Lord your God is with you, the mighty warrior who saves. He will take great delight in you. In His love He will no longer rebuke you, but will rejoice over you with singing." Can you imagine that chosen one? God is not just smiling upon you. He's singing over you, rejoicing in you, delighting in you. This is the love that surrounds you, the joy that fills you, the power that transforms you. As you step into this new season, you'll begin to notice the world responding to you differently. People will be drawn to your light, inspired by your faith, transformed by your presence. Opportunities will open that you never thought possible. Blessings will flow that you never could have imagined. This is the power of God's smile, a force that changes everything, aligning your life with His perfect plan and purpose. Let's talk about the legacy you're building, chosen one. When God smiles upon you, it's not just for this moment, it's for generations to come. Your life is becoming a story that will inspire others, a beacon that will guide those who are lost, a testimony that will point to God's faithfulness. Every step you take in His joy is a step toward a legacy of faith, of love, of divine transformation. You are not just living for yourself. You are living for those who will come after you, for those who need to see the power of God's smile in action. Psalm chapter 16 verse 11 affirms, "You make known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand." This is your promise, chosen one. God is filling you with His joy, guiding you on the path of life, leading you to a future filled with His blessings. As you walk in His presence, you'll find that His joy is your strength, His love is your shield, His smile is your victory. Now let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you fully embraced the joy of God's smile? What would happen if you let go of every doubt, every fear, every limitation, and stepped boldly into the destiny He has prepared for you? The answer is simple. Your life would become a masterpiece, a reflection of His glory, a testament to His love. This is not a dream. It's a reality that God is calling you to step into right now. As you embrace this divine joy, you'll begin to see your life transform in ways you never thought possible. Your relationships will be restored. Your finances will be blessed. Your health will be renewed. This is not a hope or a wish. It's a divine promise sealed by the smile of God upon your life. You are stepping into a season of abundance where every dream is within reach. Every goal is achievable. Every promise is fulfilled. Let's talk about the power of your presence. Chosen one. When God smiles upon you, your very existence becomes a force for good in this world. Your smile, your energy, your faith, they are gifts that God is using to change lives. You are not just a person. You are a movement, a light that cannot be hidden, a testimony that cannot be silenced. The world needs your joy, your hope, your love, and God is using you to deliver it. Philippians chapter 4 verse 4 commands, "Rejoice in the Lord always." I will say it again. Rejoice. This is your calling, chosen one. God's smile is your invitation to rejoice, to let His joy overflow in your life, to let His light shine through you. As you walk in this joy, you'll become a beacon of hope, a vessel of love, a carrier of God's grace. Your life will point others to Him, showing them that His promises are true, His love is real, and His joy is everlasting. Now let's talk about the challenges you may face as you step into this new season. The enemy will try to steal your joy, to dim your light, to make you doubt God's smile. But here's the truth. The enemy has no power over you. When God smiles upon you, His favor surrounds you like a shield. His strength upholds you. His love protects you. No lie, no attack, no obstacle can stand against the joy of the Lord in your life. Think of someone like Nelson Mandela, a man who faced decades of imprisonment, yet emerged with a heart full of hope. His faith, his resilience, his unwavering belief in a better future, these were the things that made him a force for change. You chosen one are carrying that same faith, that same resilience, that same divine joy. God's smile is upon you, and it's making you unstoppable. As you embrace this divine joy, you'll begin to see the world through new eyes. The challenges that once seemed overwhelming will become opportunities for growth. The doubts that once held you back will become stepping stones to your destiny. The fears that once paralyzed you will be replaced by a confidence that can only come from God. This is the power of His smile, a force that transforms everything, making the impossible possible and the ordinary extraordinary. Let me ask you, chosen one, are you ready to let God's smile change your life? Are you ready to step into the fullness of His joy, to embrace the destiny He has prepared for you? This is not a time to hold back. It's a time to rise, to shine, to walk boldly in the truth that you are His chosen. The world is waiting to see the light that God has placed within you. The universe is aligning to bring you the blessings He has promised. All you have to do is receive it, embrace it, and let it flow through you. The transformation God is working in you is not just for you, it's for the world. Your joy, your faith, your resilience, they are gifts that God is using to bring hope to those who are lost, healing to those who are broken, love to those who are hurting. You are a carrier of his smile, a vessel of his light, a testimony to his power. As you walk in this truth, you'll see lives change, hearts heal, and dreams come to life. Isaiah chapter 61, verse 3, promises to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. This is your promise, chosen one. God is replacing your ashes with beauty, your mourning with joy, your despair with praise. His smile is your crown, your anointing, your victory. As you step into this new season, you'll begin to notice the world responding to you differently. People will be drawn to your light, inspired by your faith, transformed by your presence. Opportunities will open that you never thought possible. Blessings will flow that you never could have imagined. This is the power of God's smile, a force that changes everything, aligning your life with His perfect plan and purpose. Let's talk about the legacy you're building, chosen one. When God smiles upon you, it's not just for this moment, it's for generations to come. Your life is becoming a story that will inspire others, a beacon that will guide those who are lost, a testimony that will point to God's faithfulness. Every step you take in His joy is a step toward a legacy of faith, of love, of divine transformation. You are not just living for yourself. You are living for those who will come after you, for those who need to see the power of God's smile in action. John chapter 16, verse 24 invites, "Until now you have not asked for anything in my name. Ask and you will receive, and your joy will be complete." This is your invitation, chosen one. God's smile is an open door, a call to ask boldly, to receive freely, to walk in the fullness of His joy. As you embrace this truth, you'll find that His joy is your strength, His love is your shield, His smile is your victory. Now let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you fully embraced the joy of God's smile? What would happen if you let go of every doubt, every fear, every limitation, and stepped boldly into the destiny He has prepared for you? The answer is simple. Your life would become a masterpiece, a reflection of His glory, a testament to His love. This is not a dream. It's a reality that God is calling you to step into right now. As you embrace this divine joy, you'll begin to see your life transform in ways you never thought possible. Your relationships will be restored. Your finances will be blessed. Your health will be renewed. This is not a hope or a wish. It's a divine promise sealed by the smile of God upon your life. You are stepping into a season of abundance where every dream is within reach. Every goal is achievable. Every promise is fulfilled. Let's talk about the power of your presence. Chosen one. When God smiles upon you, your very existence becomes a force for good in this world. Your smile, your energy, your faith, they are gifts that God is using to change lives. You are not just a person. You are a movement, a light that cannot be hidden, a testimony that cannot be silenced. The world needs your joy, your hope, your love, and God is using you to deliver it. Psalm chapter 1-26 verse 2 proclaims, "Our mouths were filled with laughter, our tongues with songs of joy. Then it was said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them." This is your story, chosen one. God is filling your mouth with laughter, your heart with joy, your life with His greatness. As you walk in this truth, the nations will see the power of His smile in you, and they will know that He is faithful. Now let's talk about the challenges you may face as you step into this new season. The enemy will try to steal your joy, to dim your light, to make you doubt God's smile. But here's the truth. The enemy has no power over you. When God smiles upon you, His favor surrounds you like a shield. His strength upholds you. His love protects you. No lie, no attack, no obstacle can stand against the joy of the Lord in your life. Think of someone like Maya Angelou, a woman who faced unimaginable hardship yet rose with a voice that inspired millions. Her words, her presence, her unshakable faith, they were a reflection of God's joy in her life. She didn't let the pain of her past define her. She let God's love transform her. You chosen one are carrying that same power, that same joy, that same divine favor. God's smile is upon you, and it's making you unstoppable. As you embrace this divine joy, you'll begin to see the world through new eyes. The challenges that once seemed overwhelming will become opportunities for growth. The doubts that once held you back will become stepping stones to your destiny. The fears that once paralyzed you will be replaced by a confidence that can only come from God. This is the power of His smile, a force that transforms everything, making the impossible possible and the ordinary extraordinary. Let me ask you, chosen one, are you ready to let God's smile change your life? Are you ready to step into the fullness of His joy, to embrace the destiny He has prepared for you? This is not a time to hold back. It's a time to rise, to shine, to walk boldly in the truth that you are His chosen. The world is waiting to see the light that God has placed within you. The universe is aligning to bring you the blessings He has promised. All you have to do is receive it, embrace it, and let it flow through you. The transformation God is working in you is not just for you. It's for the world. Your joy, your faith, your resilience, they are gifts that God is using to bring hope to those who are lost, healing to those who are broken, love to those who are hurting. You are a carrier of His smile, a vessel of His light, a testimony to His power. As you walk in this truth, you'll see lives change, hearts heal, and dreams come to life. Psalm chapter 34 verse 5 declares, "Those who look to Him are radiant, their faces are never covered with shame." This is your promise, chosen one. God's smile is making you radiant, filling you with a light that cannot be hidden. As you walk in this radiance, you'll see His promises unfold in ways that will leave you in awe. Your life is becoming a masterpiece, a reflection of His glory, a testament to His love. As you step into this new season, you'll begin to notice the world responding to you differently. People will be drawn to your light, inspired by your faith, transformed by your presence. Opportunities will open that you never thought possible. Blessings will flow that you never could have imagined. This is the power of God's smile, a force that changes everything, aligning your life with His perfect plan and purpose. Let's talk about the legacy you're building, chosen one. When God smiles upon you, it's not just for this moment, it's for generations to come. Your life is becoming a story that will inspire others, a beacon that will guide those who are lost, a testimony that will point to God's faithfulness. Every step you take in His joy is a step toward a legacy of faith, of love, of divine transformation. You are not just living for yourself. You are living for those who will come after you, for those who need to see the power of God's smile in action. 2 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 18 affirms, "And we all who with unveiled faces contemplate the Lord's glory are being transformed into His image with ever-increasing glory, which comes from the Lord who is the Spirit." This is your journey, chosen one. God's smile is transforming you into His image, filling you with His glory, making you a reflection of His love. As you walk in this truth, you'll see His promises unfold in ways that will leave you speechless. Now let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you fully embraced the joy of God's smile? What would happen if you let go of every doubt, every fear, every limitation, and stepped boldly into the destiny He has prepared for you? The answer is simple. Your life would become a masterpiece, a reflection of His glory, a testament to His love. This is not a dream. It's a reality that God is calling you to step into right now. As you embrace this divine joy, you'll begin to see your life transform in ways you never thought possible. Your relationships will be restored, your finances will be blessed, your health will be renewed. This is not a hope or a wish. It's a divine promise sealed by the smile of God upon your life. You are stepping into a season of abundance where every dream is within reach, every goal is achievable, every promise is fulfilled. Let's talk about the power of your presence, chosen one. When God smiles upon you, your very existence becomes a force for good in this world. Your smile, your energy, your faith. They are gifts that God is using to change lives. You are not just a person, you are a movement, a light that cannot be hidden, a testimony that cannot be silenced. The world needs your joy, your hope, your love, and God is using you to deliver it. Psalm chapter 89 verse 15 proclaims, "Blessed are those who have learned to acclaim you, who walk in the light of your presence, Lord." This is your calling, chosen one. God's smile is your light, and it's meant to shine for all to see. As you walk in this light, you'll become a beacon of hope, a vessel of love, a carrier of God's grace. Your life will point others to Him, showing them that His promises are true, His love is real, and His joy is everlasting. Now let's talk about the challenges you may face as you step into this new season. The enemy will try to steal your joy, to dim your light, to make you doubt God's smile. But here's the truth. The enemy has no power over you. When God smiles upon you, His favor surrounds you like a shield. His strength upholds you. His love protects you. No lie, no attack, no obstacle can stand against the joy of the Lord in your life. Think of someone like Rosa Parks, a woman who faced oppression with quiet strength. Her simple act of courage, refusing to give up her seat, sparked a movement that changed the world. Her faith, her resilience, her unwavering belief in justice, these were the things that made her a force for change. You, chosen one, are carrying that same strength, that same faith, that same divine joy. God's smile is upon you, and it's making you unstoppable. As you embrace this divine joy, you'll begin to see the world through new eyes. The challenges that once seemed overwhelming will become opportunities for growth. The doubts that once held you back will become stepping stones to your destiny. The fears that once paralyzed you will be replaced by a confidence that can only come from God. This is the power of His smile, a force that transforms everything, making the impossible possible and the ordinary extraordinary. Let me ask you, chosen one, are you ready to let God's smile change your life? Are you ready to step into the fullness of His joy, to embrace the destiny He has prepared for you? This is not a time to hold back. It's a time to rise, to shine, to walk boldly in the truth that you are His chosen. The world is waiting to see the light that God has placed within you. The universe is aligning to bring you the blessings He has promised. All you have to do is receive it, embrace it, and let it flow through you. The transformation God is working in you is not just for you, it's for the world. Your joy, your faith, your resilience, they are gifts that God is using to bring hope to those who are lost, healing to those who are broken, love to those who are hurting. You are a carrier of His smile, a vessel of His light, a testimony to His power. As you walk in this truth, you'll see lives change, hearts heal, and dreams come to life. Psalm chapter 23 verse 5 declares, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows." This is your promise, chosen one. God is preparing a table for you, anointing you with His joy, filling your cup to overflowing. His smile is your assurance that you are walking in His favor, that His blessings are chasing you, that His love is surrounding you. As you step into this new season, you'll begin to notice the world responding to you differently. People will be drawn to your light, inspired by your faith, transformed by your presence. Opportunities will open that you never thought possible. Blessings will flow that you never could have imagined. This is the power of God's smile, a force that changes everything, aligning your life with His perfect plan and purpose. Let's talk about the legacy you're building, chosen one. When God smiles upon you, it's not just for this moment. It's for generations to come. Your life is becoming a story that will inspire others, a beacon that will guide those who are lost, a testimony that will point to God's faithfulness. Every step you take in His joy is a step toward a legacy of faith, of love, of divine transformation. You are not just living for yourself, you are living for those who will come after you, for those who need to see the power of God's smile in action. Habakkuk chapter 3 verse 19 affirms, "The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to tread on the heights." This is your journey, chosen one. God's smile is your strength, enabling you to rise above every challenge, to walk on the heights, to live in the fullness of His joy. As you embrace this truth, you'll see His promises unfold in ways that will leave you in awe. Now let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you fully embraced the joy of God's smile? What would happen if you let go of every doubt, every fear, every limitation, and stepped boldly into the destiny He has prepared for you? The answer is simple. Your life would become a masterpiece, a reflection of His glory, a testament to His love. This is not a dream. It's a reality that God is calling you to step into right now. As you embrace this divine joy, you'll begin to see your life transform in ways you never thought possible. Your relationships will be restored. Your finances will be blessed. Your health will be renewed. This is not a hope or a wish. It's a divine promise sealed by the smile of God upon your life. You are stepping into a season of abundance where every dream is within reach. Every goal is achievable. Every promise is fulfilled. Let's talk about the power of your presence. Chosen one. When God smiles upon you, your very existence becomes a force for good in this world. Your smile, your energy, your faith, they are gifts that God is using to change lives. You are not just a person. You are a movement, a light that cannot be hidden, a testimony that cannot be silenced. The world needs your joy, your hope, your love, and God is using you to deliver it. Psalm chapter 30, verse 11 declares, "You turned my wailing into dancing. You removed my sackcloth and clothed me with joy." This is your story, chosen one. God is turning your pain into joy, your struggles into dancing, your ashes into beauty. His smile is your transformation, your victory, your destiny. As you walk in this truth, you'll see His promises unfold in ways that will leave you speechless. Now, let's talk about the challenges you may face as you step into this new season. The enemy will try to steal your joy, to dim your light, to make you doubt God's smile. But here's the truth. The enemy has no power over you. When God smiles upon you, His favor surrounds you like a shield. His strength upholds you. His love protects you. No lie, no attack, no obstacle can stand against the joy of the Lord in your life. Think of someone like Malala Yousafzai, a young girl who faced unimaginable threats, yet stood firm in her mission to bring education to others. Her courage, her faith, her unwavering belief in a better world. These were the things that made her a force for change. You chosen one are carrying that same courage, that same faith, that same divine joy. God's smile is upon you, and it's making you unstoppable. As you embrace this divine joy, you'll begin to see the world through new eyes. The challenges that once seemed overwhelming will become opportunities for growth. The doubts that once held you back will become stepping stones to your destiny. The fears that once paralyzed you will be replaced by a confidence that can only come from God. This is the power of His smile, a force that transforms everything, making the impossible possible and the ordinary extraordinary. The divine message that God is smiling upon you, chosen one, is not just a moment of joy, but a call to embrace your unique purpose. His smile affirms your sacred identity and the light you carry, setting the foundation for a life aligned with His will. This divine approval connects directly to the truth that you were never meant to chase jobs or conform to the world's systems. Instead, God's smile empowers you to step boldly into your assignment, to activate the gifts He placed within you, and to walk in obedience to His calling, where true provision and transformation await. Chosen one, you've been trying to force yourself into a system that was never built for you. Every time you've tried to walk the path that others said was secure, responsible, or normal, something in your spirit shut down. You might have blamed yourself, thought you were lazy, inconsistent, or ungrateful. But the truth is deeper than what they told you. You were never made to chase jobs. You were made to walk for divine purpose. From the moment you were born, the world began training you to serve its machine. Go to school, get a degree, apply for work, compete, climb, retire. But you've always felt something was off about that rhythm. While others were motivated by promotions or status, you were asking questions about meaning. While others were content fitting into roles, you were haunted by a calling you couldn't name. That's not dysfunction. That's divine dissonance. That's the spirit inside you rejecting what the world expects from you. Chosen ones don't thrive in jobs that mute their gifts. You may have worked before, maybe you still are, but deep down you know that's not the final destination. You've always felt there's something more. That sense of more, isn't greed or fantasy. It's heaven reminding you of your assignment. It's God showing you that your existence isn't supposed to be defined by a job title, but by the light you carry and release into this world. You see, jobs were created to organize labor, but your spirit was not sent here to labor in routine. You were sent here to build, awaken, and shift atmospheres. The very structure of traditional jobs can feel like a cage for a chosen one. Sitting at a desk being micromanaged, working toward goals that have nothing to do with eternity, it drains you. Not because you're entitled, but because your soul knows that your energy is sacred and your time is an offering. And yet you've probably been judged for it. They might have said you don't try hard enough, or that you always quit too soon, but they don't understand. What looks like inconsistency on the outside is often spiritual resistance on the inside. You can't stay where your soul is suffocating. You can't pretend to care about systems that were designed to keep the chosen ones distracted from their real work. Your real work begins where your obedience begins. That's what the world will never tell you, because obedience doesn't always look productive at first. It looks like silence, like rest, like writing something no one sees yet, like starting a project that doesn't bring instant money. But what they call risky heaven calls alignment, and that's the path you've been called to walk. You weren't created to hustle your way to survival. You were anointed to transform the way others survive. You weren't created to fill positions. You were born to create space for others to find their truth. You weren't created to be used. You were created to lead, to heal, to reveal, to build something that carries God's presence into places the church won't go. When you chase jobs, you end up shrinking your purpose to fit into someone else's agenda. But when you chase obedience, you start expanding your life to carry the full weight of your assignment. That's when things begin to align. That's when provision follows. That's when doors open that resumes can't unlock. So no, you're not lazy. You're not confused. You're not ungrateful. You're a chosen one. And chosen ones don't look for work the way the world does. They walk into assignments that were waiting on their yes. They rise into callings that don't make sense on paper. They follow God's voice over human approval. And they live lives that light fires in others without even trying. That's why you've never been satisfied in jobs. Because satisfaction was never the goal, transformation was. You were meant to disrupt, to rebuild, to call others out of slumber. So stop trying to fit in where you were never meant to stay. You were born to lead from a place no man can validate. Heaven has already approved you. Now it's time to walk like it. Chosen one. How many times have you been told you're wasting your potential, that you're not doing enough, that you're lazy? You've probably heard it from parents, teachers, even friends, people who love you but don't understand you. But let me speak to your spirit right now. What the world calls laziness is often something far more sacred. It's divine resistance. You weren't created to respond the way others do. That heaviness you feel when you try to do what everyone else does isn't a weakness. It's heaven resisting the world's expectations on your behalf. It's God saying, not here, not this, not for you. While others jump from job to job with ease, something in you tenses up. Your body gets tired, your soul withdraws, your energy shuts down. That's not because you lack discipline, it's because you were never meant to build someone else's dream at the cost of your own calling. The world wants you to measure your worth by how busy you are, how productive you look, how much money you bring in. But heaven's measurement is different. It's about obedience, not activity. It's about alignment, not achievement. You could be doing less in the eyes of the world, but accomplishing more in the spirit, because you're operating from purpose, not pressure. And that's what most people won't understand. They can't see your spiritual assignment, so they judge your human actions. Laziness is a word they use when they can't comprehend your blueprint. But you're not lazy. You're being retrained. You're in a process. You're being emptied of old programming so you can make room for divine instruction. And sometimes that process looks like stillness, like silence, like stepping away from the noise so you can hear God more clearly. But in a world addicted to hustle, stillness looks like failure. Let me tell you something important. You don't have to prove your worth to anyone. You are chosen by God. That alone sets you apart. The fact that you can't function like the masses is not your flaw. It's your confirmation. You're not like them because you're not meant to live like them. Your mind is wired to catch divine downloads. Your heart is built to carry sacred burdens. Your life is designed to disrupt norms, not conform to them. So when you feel yourself resisting the grind, pause and ask yourself, is this disobedience or is it divine resistance? More often than not, it's your spirit trying to protect you from misalignment, because the wrong yes can delay the right calling. The wrong opportunity can contaminate your assignment. The wrong job can dim the very light God is trying to grow in you. Chosen ones don't thrive under man-made systems. They move best when they follow divine flow. That flow isn't always fast. It isn't always impressive, but it's always right. You might not have a title right now. You might not have income like others, but you have something they can't fake heaven's hand on your life. And that alone will take you further than any resume or reference ever could. This season you're in might feel confusing. You might wake up some days and wonder what you're doing with your life. But I promise you, if you're surrendering to God's direction even in the quiet, you are doing holy work. You are being set apart. You are being prepared. The delay is not denial. The resistance is not rejection. It's a redirect. You are not meant to move just for the sake of motion. You're meant to move when the Spirit moves you. That's how chosen ones rise, not by chasing success, but by obeying the unseen rhythm of the divine. That rhythm doesn't always make sense, but it always makes purpose. And if you've been feeling the pull to rest, to slow down, to realign, don't fight it. It might just be God preserving you for something much greater. So the next time someone questions your pace or makes you feel like you're falling behind, remember this: you are not lazy, you are being led. Comment 333. If you know this word was for you, let them talk. Let them assume. While they chase what the world offers, you're being positioned for what heaven has prepared. Stay in divine resistance. Your assignment is too holy to be rushed. Chosen one, God didn't send you here empty-handed. Before you took your first breath, a gift was placed inside of you, not a random talent, not a hobby, but a divine tool crafted by heaven itself. And that gift is not just something you have. It is your assignment. You've been searching for your purpose in positions, in people, in places. But the message from God is clear. Stop looking outward. Start looking inward. Your gift is not something extra. It's the main thing. So many chosen ones live confused because they've been taught to downplay what comes naturally to them. You've probably brushed off your abilities because they felt too easy or too obvious. You've assumed real work must be hard and unpleasant. But the divine doesn't operate through struggle. It flows through grace. That ease you feel when you speak, create, guide, right, heal, build or lead, that's not coincidence. That's confirmation. That's God saying, this is what I gave you to give to the world. The world taught you to hide it, told you that you had to be realistic, said your gift wasn't enough to sustain you, but God's message overrides all of that. What you carry inside you is not for entertainment or ego. It's for impact. Your gift was meant to wake people up, to heal broken places, to bring clarity where there's confusion, to shine light in places darkened by hopelessness. The enemy knew this too, which is why he attacked your confidence, why you've battled self-doubt, why you've been silenced in rooms where your voice carried weight. But the season of shrinking is over. You are not being called to chase jobs. You are being called to activate your divine gift. Heaven is not hiring employees, it's sending out messengers, healers, prophets, creatives, teachers, builders of spiritual infrastructure. You may not have a business card or a degree that validates it, but if God gave you a gift, that's all the proof you need. That gift is your calling card. Your life's work flows from it. Your provision will be attached to it. Your impact will be birthed through it. And here's the truth, most won't tell you if you don't honor the gift. It becomes a burden. That's why you felt anxious, restless, frustrated. It's not depression, it's misused purpose. The gift is too powerful to stay buried. It demands expression. It aches to be used not for clout, not for applause, but for kingdom movement. And the longer you avoid it, the louder the resistance becomes. You don't need to figure out every step. You need to start with what's already in your hand. That vision, that voice, that burning idea, that burden for people who are hurting the way you once were. That's the gift trying to get out. It's not a random urge. It's divine prompting. It's heaven nudging you to stop hiding behind responsibilities and excuses and finally walk in what you were born to do. And listen to me closely. Your gift is not too small. It's not too late. You haven't missed it. There's no expiration date on a divine assignment. It doesn't matter how old you are, what you've lost, or what mistakes you've made. God's message is still the same. Use what I gave you. That's where your power is. That's where your provision is. That's where your peace is. Chosen one, don't underestimate what's been deposited inside of you. You don't have to become someone else to walk in purpose. You only need to become obedient to the original design. You are not here to fit in. You're here to stand out, and your gift is what makes that possible. It's not prideful to walk in your power. It's faithful. It's responsible. It's sacred. So I'm telling you now, your job isn't to find a job. Your job is to find flow, to listen, to trust the divine voice guiding you back to yourself. And from that place, you will move differently, speak differently, live differently. And those who need what you carry will find you. You won't have to beg for opportunities. When you honor the gift, the assignment will reveal itself. Let this message be the moment everything shifts, the moment you stop running from your calling, the moment you recognize that your peace has always been connected to your purpose. And if something in your spirit is leaping right now, comment 555, so I know you're waking up to what's already inside you. You were chosen by God, not to copy others, not to chase titles, but to reveal heaven through the very thing He placed inside your soul. That gift is the assignment. Walk in it. Chosen one, something massive is shifting in the spirit. And if you've been feeling strange lately, that's why. You're not imagining it. You're not broken. You're being activated. And what's being activated in you has nothing to do with chasing survival and everything to do with building the new. The old economy is collapsing for you. The grind, the hustle, the scarcity mindset, the desperate job searches. Those doors aren't opening because they were never meant to. Because God is launching His chosen ones into a new economy. A spiritual economy based on purpose, presence, and power. This isn't about money the way the world defines it. This is about divine flow provision that follows obedience, resources that are attracted by alignment, not effort. For so long, you've been taught that if you don't work for someone else, you won't survive. But now you're being shown that your calling isn't tied to a paycheck. It's tied to impact. And where there's impact, there's provision. Where there's alignment, there's access. This new economy is built by chosen ones, by people who no longer fit inside the boxes the world created. This economy doesn't ask you to compromise your soul. It doesn't ask you to pretend you're something you're not. It invites you to bring your full self, your full gift, your full truth. And it pays in peace, power, and prosperity that doesn't require your exhaustion. You're not being lazy by leaving the old system. You're being summoned into a higher one. Look around. Spirit-led entrepreneurs are rising. Prophetic voices are finding platforms. Healing hands are opening practices. Writers are being called to publish words that set captives free. Artists are awakening souls. Mentors, coaches, teachers, seers, people like you are realizing they were never meant to beg for jobs. They were meant to build spaces where heaven can be seen and felt through their gifts. That discomfort you've been feeling with your old work life, it's not a mistake. It's a signal. It's God telling you that what used to work is no longer acceptable. The assignment has changed, and your provision, your peace, your next elevation, it's all connected to what you've been carrying in silence. It's time to stop hiding it. The new economy needs you fully visible, fully activated. This isn't about quitting your job overnight. This is about listening, aligning, beginning, taking steps to offer your gift to the world with intention. It might start small, a few people, a few conversations, a few pieces of content. But what's small in your hands can become supernatural in God's hands. You just need to say yes. The yes is the currency that moves things in the spirit. Once you say yes to the assignment, heaven begins to fund what you're building. You won't need to compete. You won't need to hustle like you used to. In this economy, presence is power, obedience is strategy, flow is sustainability, and trust is the investment. Chosen ones are not here to fight for scraps. You are here to distribute spiritual wealth, clarity, peace, healing, awakening, and God is showing you now how to do it in a way that sustains you while transforming others. If you feel like something in you is being stirred, if you know this message is pulling on your spirit, comment. Feel it. You're not imagining the shift, you're a part of it. The rise of the chosen is not just a phrase, it's a movement. A new spiritual economy is being built, and you are one of its architects. The world may not understand it, but heaven has already approved it. It's time to build. Chosen one, you've been taught to chase money, to run after stability, to measure your value by your income. But let me tell you something that will shift your entire perspective. Divine provision doesn't follow effort, it follows purpose. When you walk in your God-given assignment, provision begins to flow not because you worked harder than everyone else, but because heaven is backing what you were born to do. The world system says, get a job to survive. God says, step into your calling and I will provide. This is not some distant theory. This is a spiritual law. Chosen ones have never thrived chasing checks. It's why you've always felt drained, doing what others celebrate. It's why no matter how good the job looked on paper, your soul felt like it was suffocating because you were never meant to live off wages. You were meant to live off assignment. You're not like everyone else, and your provision won't come like it does for everyone else. For you, doors don't open just because you apply, they open when you obey. You can send out 100 resumes and get nothing, but say yes to the thing God whispered to you in private, and suddenly things begin to align. Resources come, people show up. Favor appears not because you forced it, but because you aligned with it. God funds His assignments, not your fears, not your fallback plans, not the backup options you created when you didn't trust your gift. He funds what He calls. And the reason some things haven't been working is because you've been trying to finance something that heaven never authorized. But the moment you step into what you were truly created for, even if it's scary, even if it looks uncertain, provision will begin to flow. I know what you're thinking, but how will I live? What about bills? What about responsibilities? And those are valid questions. But here's the divine truth. When you prioritize purpose, God prioritizes your needs. He is not a careless father. He doesn't call you into something and then leave you to figure it out alone. If you're walking in what He called you to, you're entitled to supernatural provision. Period. You might not see all of it at once. Sometimes God provides in portions to build your trust. Sometimes He lets the vision stretch you so that your faith muscles grow. But lack is not your destiny. Scarcity is not your inheritance. You are not a beggar. You are a chosen vessel. And as long as you are pouring out what He put inside of you, He will keep pouring into you everything you need. Many of you have been stuck in survival mode, doing whatever you can just to get by. But purpose doesn't just get you by. Purpose puts you in overflow. Maybe not overnight, but eventually. Because purpose produces something that jobs never will: divine momentum. When you start living from that place, the way you see life changes. You no longer wait for opportunities. You create from your spirit, and opportunities begin to find you. Let's be real. There's a cost to purpose. You might lose comfort. You might be misunderstood. You might walk away from what looks secure. But in return, you gain provision that never runs out, because it's not coming from man, it's coming from God. You begin to live off of insight, favor, peace, clarity, and timely doors that no effort could have opened. This is why the world won't understand your path. They won't get why you left the job, why you turned down the offer, why you're choosing to build something from your spirit instead of chasing what everyone else is chasing. But you don't need their approval when you have heaven's backing. Let them mock. Let them question. You're not being irresponsible, you're being led. Every time you honor the calling, provision shows up. Sometimes it looks like a person sent to help. Sometimes it's an unexpected financial breakthrough. Sometimes it's the strength to keep going when everything around you looks impossible. But it always comes. Why? Because you said yes. And that yes unlocked resources that were waiting for your obedience. So stop trying to figure everything out before you move. Start moving and let God meet you on the way. Walk toward your purpose like it's already funded, because in the Spirit it is. You won't lack when you're aligned. You won't crumble when you're in calling. You were chosen not to just survive, but to be a walking example of what divine provision looks like in human form. Chosen one, if this message has spoken directly to your spirit, you already know what to do. Comment 99 below. Speak it into the atmosphere. Provision will follow my purpose. Say it aloud. Believe it and walk like it's already done. Because if you walk in purpose, it already is. Chosen one, what if I told you that the next step in your journey isn't about learning something new? It's about unlearning what you were never supposed to believe in the first place. The path to your divine assignment doesn't begin with a course, a degree, or a job. It begins with releasing the lies you were taught by a world that was never designed for your kind. Before heaven can build through you, it must first tear down everything false that's been built in you. You've been conditioned since childhood to think in terms of control, competition, and survival, that your worth comes from how hard you grind, that your identity is tied to a job title, that stability is more valuable than vision. But none of those ideas came from God. They came from a system that needs you to be useful, but not powerful, efficient, but not awakened, busy, but not aligned. And now, heaven is confronting all of it. That tension you feel, that restlessness that won't go away no matter how much you try to ignore it, that's the spiritual friction between the world's script and heaven's blueprint. One tells you to get in line, the other tells you to rise and lead. One says play it safe, the other says walk by faith. One keeps you bound by fear, the other calls you to build by vision, and you can't carry both. To receive the fullness of heaven's instruction, you must let go of the world's voice. Unlearning is a painful process. It feels like confusion at first because everything that was once familiar begins to collapse. But this collapse is holy, it's sacred, it's necessary. Because God will never pour fresh purpose into a mind still married to old patterns. He's not just changing your circumstances. He's transforming how you see, how you think, how you hear, and how you decide. You've been taught to ask, will this make money? God is teaching you to ask, is this in alignment? You've been taught to follow what's popular. God is teaching you to follow what's prophetic. You've been told to seek comfort. God is calling you to step into divine discomfort where real growth lives. And each step of obedience will feel strange at first because it doesn't resemble anything you were raised to believe. But that's the sign you're on the right track. There will be days when you feel like you're losing your mind, days when you question everything. That's normal. You are being rewired, recalibrated, stripped of the world's logic so you can operate by spiritual intelligence. And this spiritual intelligence will have you making moves that make no sense to others but perfect sense to heaven. You'll walk away from offers that look good but don't feel right. You'll say no to jobs that promise stability but rob your spirit. You'll start to trust your peace more than your paycheck. And little by little, the blueprint will start revealing itself, not all at once, but step by step. God doesn't give you the full picture up front. He gives you instructions, nudges, confirmations, and as you obey, the path becomes clearer. It's not that the plan wasn't there. It's that your old programming was blocking your vision. Now, as you unlearn the world's noise, you're finally able to hear God's whisper. You'll start noticing synchronicities, divine timing, conversations that confirm what you've been sensing, opportunities that don't make sense but feel perfectly right. These aren't coincidences. They're the unfolding of heaven's strategy. Because the moment you finally unlearn the toxic trinity of fear, performance, and exhausting striving, The moment you let those chains fall off your mind and heart for good, something irreversible happens inside you. You stop surviving from a place of pressure, and you begin to live from a place of deep trust, constant presence, and effortless, holy flow. That is the exact moment you become genuinely dangerous to every dark agenda that has ever tried to keep you small. That is when you become truly unstoppable, not by human grit, but by divine alignment. That is when every grip the enemy once had on your thoughts, your decisions, and your future begins to loosen and shatter completely. The world will absolutely hate the shift. It will label you irresponsible, dreamy, unrealistic, even rebellious or arrogant. It will mock you for walking away from the hamster wheel everyone else is killing themselves to stay on. But you have to settle this once and for all in your spirit, chosen one. You were never selected by heaven to perpetuate broken cycles. You were handpicked to shatter them forever. That means you will often walk paths that terrify the average person, paths that have never been walked before. You will build structures, ministries, businesses, families, and movements that have never existed in exactly this way. You will speak truths that have never been voiced with your unique authority. You will trust a vision so vividly burning in your spirit that no one else can see it yet, and you will keep walking anyway. So when everything around you starts feeling like it is falling apart, when relationships shift, when income streams dry up overnight, when titles and positions you once leaned on disappear, do not panic, do not medicate the discomfort, do not run back to Egypt. You are not being destroyed. You are being gloriously delivered from every lie, every limiting belief, every religious and cultural program that was never part of God's original design for your life. Every single thing that is breaking right now is making room for what is coming. Every demolition is divine renovation. Every closed door is mercy in disguise. Every part of this sacred breaking process is intentionally preparing your hands, your heart, and your capacity to carry the weight of the new thing, the higher thing, the holy thing that God has been waiting to release through you. Chosen one, hear me clearly. You are not sliding backwards into failure. You are being sovereignly resist to factory settings, heaven's original settings. Let the world scream foolish. Let critics call it a midlife crisis or a meltdown. Heaven calls it consecration. Heaven calls it preparation for promotion that no man can give and no man can take away. You must unlearn every single thing the world poured into you. Every fear-based mindset, every performance-driven identity, every scarcity lie, so that you can finally download and walk in the custom blueprint the Father drew up for you before the foundation of the world. And once that divine exchange is complete, once the old wineskin is fully discarded and the new wineskin is in place, something breathtaking happens. You stop chasing anything. You stop begging doors to open. You stop hustling for validation, for provision, for position. Instead, you step into a supernatural reality where everything you need begins to chase you down, pursue you, overtake you, because you are finally, fully, unapologetically positioned exactly where God called you to be. Favor finds you while you sleep. Opportunities knock while you are simply obeying the last instruction. Resources show up before you even know you need them. That is the lifestyle of the reset chosen one. Attraction by alignment, not acquisition by agitation. Chosen one, the world has spent decades programming you to go into full panic mode the moment you are not traditionally employed. They trained you that your worth is tied to a paycheck, that your identity is wrapped up in a job title, that sitting still for even one season without a logo on your shirt means you are lazy, failing, or irrelevant. They told you to get busy immediately, to flood the internet with applications, to lower your standards, to settle for anything with benefits, just so you never have to sit in the tension of transition. But heaven operates on an entirely different frequency. Heaven is not wringing its hands in anxiety over your bank account. Heaven is not measuring your value by how many interviews you can line up this week. God is not asking you to chase jobs that drain your soul. He is commanding you to step boldly, confidently, and unapologetically into the assignment He placed in your womb before you ever had a resume. And the only way to do that is to stop hustling like an orphan and start building like a son or daughter who knows the Father owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. Instead of frantically job hunting, start gifting. Start releasing what God has already deposited inside you. Wake up every morning and ask the Holy Spirit one simple question. Father, what can I create today that is in perfect alignment with the purpose you breathed into me? How can I show up with laser-focused intention and offer the world what is already burning in my spirit who needs the word? The encouragement, the strategy, the healing, the guidance, the creativity that you entrusted to me and me alone. That is not unemployment. That is divine redirection. That is not lack. That is liberation. You are not waiting on a company to hire you. You are being repositioned by heaven to occupy the territory that was always yours. You are moving from employee mindset to kingdom entrepreneur, from beggar at the gate to builder of gates that others will one day walk through. This is the moment to begin, not next month when you feel more ready, not next year when the plan looks perfect on paper, not when the bank account is padded and everyone approves. Right now, today, in the middle of the mess, with whatever you have in your hand, your spirit already knows exactly what it is time to birth. Maybe it is that YouTube channel you have been afraid to launch. Maybe it is the book that keeps you up at night. Maybe it is the mentoring program, the healing ministry, the podcast, the clothing line, the coaching business, the school, the community, the invention, the song, the course. Whatever it is, you have been hearing the whisper for years. You have felt the pull in your gut every time you scrolled past someone else doing a lesser version of what you know you were born for. The delay has never been because the dream is not real. The delay has been because you were taught to fear your own gift to wait for permission that heaven already gave you before you were born. But God did not place that fire inside you to stay hidden on a shelf while you beg corporations for scraps of significance. That gift is the opportunity. That anointing is the open door. That burning vision is the very business plan heaven wrote. And here is the promise that makes hell tremble when you begin to offer your gift consistently, faithfully, without shame, without apology, without waiting for the world's applause. Something supernatural begins to happen. Heaven starts moving people, resources, platforms, and provision into your path at a speed that defies logic. People you have never met will begin to find you. Influencers will stumble across your content and feel compelled to share it. Clients will appear before you even have a website. Opportunities will knock while you are simply stewing in obedience to the last thing God told you to do. Doors that applications could never open will swing wide because favor is doing the heavy lifting. Provision will chase you down because obedience always magnetizes supply. You will not have to chase platforms. Platforms will begin to chase you. You will not have to beg for seats at tables. Tables will be built around you. Not because you marketed harder than everyone else, but because you obeyed faster, deeper, and more radically than everyone else. This is the lifestyle of the reset chosen one you build in the secret place, and God broadcasts in the open. You create in obedience, and He multiplies in overflow. You release what is in your hand, and He fills it with what only His hand can provide. The world will never understand it, but heaven celebrates it. So stop looking for a job to validate you and start walking in the assignment that was written on your scroll before time began. The season of settling is over. The season of soaring has begun. And as you dare to gift what God gave you, watch Him turn your obedience into an unstoppable movement that will feed generations long after you are gone. You are not behind. You are not broke. You are not empty-handed. You are loaded with purpose, and the moment you start releasing it is the moment everything else starts chasing you down. Step in, chosen one. The world has waited long enough.